Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, Timor-Leste denies Congressman Arnie Teves' application for political asylum. Former Corrections Chief Gerald Bantag sends another surrender feeler to the Department of Justice, and about a dozen individuals to face charges for trafficking foreign nationals to work for cyber fraud in Pampanga. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla joins us live. The government of Timor-Leste has rejected the request of suspended lawmaker Arnie Teves for political asylum. According to the Foreign Affairs Department, the lawmaker, who is considered a fugitive in the Philippines, was given 5 days to leave Timor-Leste. But he can also file an appeal. The Justice Department contacted DFA to block the plan of Teves, who has been tagged as the alleged brains in the murder of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo and 9 others.
There's a special provision in law for that. If you want to seek asylum, usually it's just for political purposes. But we don't see any political reason for him to seek asylum in Timor-Leste. It's really for not wanting to face the consequences of certain actions by which he is being held to account for in our courts of law.
The lawyer of Teves, attorney Ferdinand Topacio, says he cannot comment on the request for asylum, claiming he has no contact with his client. And the government of Timor-Leste, as mentioned a while ago, has rejected the request of suspended lawmaker Arnie Teves for political asylum. So what's next for the Justice Department? Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Justice Secretary Boying Remulla. Secretary Remulla, welcome back to the source. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Good morning, Pinky, at magandang umaga sa lahat ng nanonood dyan.
Ang bilis ng pangyayari kagabi, Sec Boying, from the time that you publicized this letter that you wrote to the DFA, telling the DFA to inform the government of Timor-Leste that Congressman Teves, there are progress plans on tagging him as a terrorist, no? And then thereafter, naglabas naman po ang DFA, sinasabi na yung application ni Congressman Arnie Teves for political asylum has been rejected by Timor-Leste. So, Sec Boying, can you tell us what happened? Kasi you knew this since April 29, apparently, na nasa Timor-Leste si Cong Arnie Teves.
I was informed of this matter on April 30. And when I was on my way to the U.S. with the President. And so when I got to the U.S., I was with Secretary Manalo, and I told him that I had written a letter to the DFA about our opposition to any grant of asylum to Congressman Teves, on the ground that it is not he should account for the crimes that were committed here, or he's charged or to be charged in the very near future, which of course is within the next few days.
Yeah, to be charged, no? Do you consider him a fugitive?
Yes, because he also has another case for double murder committed in 2019. And search warrants were also served in his house, which was positive for many effects. And of course, the fact that he is really the main suspect in the murder of Governor Degamo, as the mastermind, makes him a fugitive from justice. And if he was not, if he didn't feel any guilty pangs at all, he would be here in the country.
But would that
Why should he be hiding?
Sec Boying, would that be fair, given that you're the head of the Department of Justice, to call him a fugitive when there's still no complaint dito lang po dun sa murder?
Well, there's another complaint. There is another complaint about the murders of 2019. And of course, the search warrants turned out positive on his house for a lot of effects that he should account for.
Okay.
And fairness, I don't think that's a question of fairness.
You know, the thing is, when I spoke to Congressman Arnie Teves, obviously he's saying hindi patas, nauna daw yung paghanap nung nauna daw yung suspect bago dun sa investigasyon, hindi daw patas, etc. No? That's why I was asking because it needs to be said, sir, that with regards to the Degamo case, wala pa pong complaint that was filed against him, tagging him even as a mastermind. Wala pa po tayo doon. So, kailan ho ba ito mangyayari? Because even I think we spoke about, I don't know, sir, 2 to 3 weeks ago, you were saying it was the week after, etc. Why the delay? What's happening?
Pinky, it's not a very simple case. It involves many actors. It involves so many statements. It involves so many details. The case has to be properly written up to include all the facts that are part of the testimonies of the witnesses right after they were arrested. And these facts and the other incidents that happened after the death of Governor Degamo are so numerous that it is not easy to write them down in a simple swoop. It is something that you have to be deliberate about and you have to study before filing. And that is what the NBI has been doing. And they have been assisted by many lawyers, by people who know their stuff. And that this will be filed with the DOJ. And from there, we'll be filed in court. If things turn out
If there's probable
positive
cause.
with the NBI.
Opo. When will this happen, sir?
I would say Friday or Monday. Either this Friday or Monday, this will happen.
Okay. And just to add to that, in relation to that, is there another mastermind? Let me just go straight to the point, sir. Pati ho ba si former Governor Pride Teves ay masasama dito as one of the masterminds?
Not yet him. We don't see him yet at all. I mean, he has not turned out positive to be among a major actor. The other person that is very much in the mix is Marvin.
Miranda.
Marvin, yes.
Opo.
And the others that we are eyeing. That's why we haven't filed the case. And we might just add them later on when we are able to validate the information that we receive on this matter.
In summary, the masterminds are Marvin Miranda, who's supposed to be the bodyguard, allegedly the bodyguard of Congressman Arnie Teves. Congressman Arnie Teves. Who else, sir? Are there 1, 2, or 3 more? And what can you tell us about them?
Teves has at least 2 other people assisting him in the pursuit of many things he has been doing. Because when we were looking at the escape plan done, where they were taken aboard the helicopter of the congressman, the person who gave permission is now under question. We are looking at the persons who planned this matter. It's a very elaborate scheme, Pinky. It's not a simple crime that happened. Remember when this started, we were only talking about Governor Degamo's death. But now we're talking about the death of 10 people already. One of the other victims has died also. The one who was seriously injured on March 4 just died at the hospital from the injuries he sustained during the attack on March 4.
Okay, so when you say, just to follow up, that who gave the permit, I'm assuming, sir, sinong pumayag para makalipad yung helicopter na supposedly ginamit ni Marvin Miranda? Tama ho ba?
Sino nagsabi na gamitin yung helicopter para makatakas yung mga tao at dalahin sila sa ibang lugar? That is a very important fact here. Kasi ano yan cover up na yan, tsaka kasama pa rin yan sa grand plan that the suspects would flee to safety following several scenarios that they had planned along the way.
And who is this?
I cannot reveal that to you yet,
Okay.
Pinky. Very sensitive matters that we do not want to reveal prematurely. But we are still trying to get this story together. Because, in fact, Pinky, in cases like this, it's one of the most difficult cases to investigate. It is not easy to investigate. And we're just lucky that we got the breaks when we were able to capture all the people involved in the murderous rampage of March 4 in Pamplona, what we call the Pamplona Massacre.
You know, sir, some would question, kung malakas ang kaso, bakit hindi pa pinafila ng reklamo. I do understand, of course, you're saying this is elaborate, this is complicated, but here, when the panel of prosecutors look into this, all they need is probable cause, hindi ho ba? Just looking back at how the proceedings work. In terms of probable cause, sigurado na ho ba kayo dito? I mean, bakit ho...
We do not want to be taking information.
Go ahead, sir.
We want to be sure of what we file. We want to be sure that when we file it, we can prove it. Hindi tayo pwede maghula-hula rito. It is a very serious crime that we are alleging against Congressman Teves and the people who did the crime.
So hindi sapat para sa inyo sa ngayon ang probable cause lamang? That's how I'm understanding it, sir. Kasi yun lang naman po kailangan
Alam mo, Pinky, kasi ako I think differently. I think differently, Pinky. When we file a case, I want a reasonable certainty that we can convict the person. Probable cause is a very weak, is one of the weaknesses of our legal system. That's why we are setting a higher bar here. It is also part of the reforms that we are instituting at the Department of Justice. We are going beyond the probable cause standard to go into reasonable certainty of conviction as certified by the prosecutors. We want the prosecutors to be responsible also for what they file.
Yeah.
Probable cause has been the reason why people end up in jail needlessly because there's probable cause, but the evidence is not really that strong. Becomes a reason for people to go to jail for non-bailable offenses. It is also the cause why our jails are congested. That's why we are looking at the justice system in a different light thinking. We want a reasonable certainty before we file the case.
It looks like you're looking at a holistic approach. Hindi lang yung probable cause. Pag magka-probable cause, fa-file ng kaso sa RTC. Pagdating sa RTC, they will obviously be detained pending their trial, etc. That's also something that you're fighting. Just one last question regarding this. This person that you're saying, and I know you said you can't reveal him, I'm assuming this is a guy, sir. No, am I correct?
We can reveal the identity later on, but not yet. Not yet.
Okay, pero obviously, ano ho ba to? Kasi sinasabi, malapit si Marvin Miranda kay Congressman Arnie Teves. Yun po yung sinasabi. Are you, just out of curiosity, mas malapit pa ho ba ito? Ganun ho ba? Itong yung ayaw nyo pang i-reveal na nagbigay ng...
may dalawang tao na alam namin na malaki ang kinalaman.
Dalawa.
Ito yung mga taong umalis din. Pag-alis niya, ito rin yung mga umalis na halos kasabay niya. At pumulas sa bansa. Umalis sila. At hanggang ngayon, hindi pa bumabalik. And we have to study them, Pinky.
Okay.
Hindi madali kasi gather ng evidence. We have to gather the evidence properly.
Okay. So, political asylum, that's been denied, but I wonder what's going to be next. But we need to take a very short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. Source on CNN Philippines, I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Justice Secretary Boying Remulla. So, sir, balikan ko lang po yung sa Timor-Leste. Sinabi ng Interior Department that they denied of the application of Congressman Arnie Teves for this, and he was given 5 days to depart or seek an appeal. Sir, do you know if he's still there, and what are your plans from here on?
I think he's still there. Maybe he's going back to Korea. Knowing that the situation that he has been doing, he was been shopping between Korea and Cambodia, and I think Bangkok, where many of his people are also staying right now. So I think that he will just go around these countries while he still has the passport, because when the other charges are filed, we will file for the cancellation of his passport.
Yun na nga, sir. You know, there's a tweet when we posted this and said, why not cancel his passport? Yun po yung tanong. And I thought to myself, what are the parameters for you to be able to ask the DFA to cancel his passport?
We want a pending case, another pending case, this case, to be filed first before you... But actually, we can file for the cancellation, which we will. But when we file this case, we will ask for the cancellation.
You mean when you...
Very soon.
Sir, sorry, just to clarify, when you file the complaint versus against Teves regarding the Degamo killing, tama
Yes.
ho ba? Okay.
Yes.
The complaint, kasi hindi pa po ito kaso. panel of prosecutors will decide probable cause, file it with the RTC, doon po magiging kaso to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
And I think it will take a long time because he's not in the country. His absence will make him he will not respond. He will not be a respondent to the case if he is absent from the country, which will make it faster for us to file it in court.
sorry, could you take me back, sir, again? When do you plan to file, ask the DFA to cancel the passport again?
Probably on Monday when we file by the MPI with the panel of prosecutors, then we will ask for the cancellation of this passport.
Got it, sir.
The MPI will ask.
Okay. Sir,
The MPI is
go ahead, sir.
It's the NBI's call to do.
The
NBI will file for the cancellation of the passport.
I see. It's the NBI that will do that. Okay. With this development...
Yes, they're the investigating law enforcement group under the DOJ, which is investigating it.
Got it. With this development, Secretary, do you feel the urgency to even have the ATC declare him as a terrorist? I know that you said that there's a technical working group already formed to look into this and possibly tag Congressman Arnie Teves as a terrorist. What is the progress here, sir?
The technical working group has started meeting already. And we expect the plenary of the ATA, the Anti-Terror Council, to meet again within the next 2 weeks and to put this in the agenda for designation. And I think that he will be designated a terrorist given the facts that were put forward in the ATC technical working group.
How do you think how long do you think this process will take?
Another 2 weeks. Another 2 weeks. We just have to go through the process. That we are not here to hurry up and then persecute anybody. It is prosecute, not persecute.
Still, questions on where Gerald Bantag is, and sir, the 1,000 individuals found working in Clark for, related to human trafficking. We need to talk about that. But again, a very short break. We'll be right back. Watching The Source on CNN Philippines, I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Justice Secretary Boying Remulla, Sir Gerald Bantag and Zulueta. You said that they were sending feelers, I think twice na po. Is government actively pursuing them, or are you waiting for them to surrender?
We're pursuing them. We're not dependent on these surrender feelers. But it's just that because being an official of the government, we want to give the presumption that they will obey the process. But if they will not obey the process, then so be it. But the NBI is on top of it. They already organized the teams to seek him out, and they're at work. I can assure you of that.
Do they know where they are?
They have an idea. In this day and age, intelligence is in many ways and forms, and I think that they're on the track. They're on the right track. They can find Director General Bantag when in a short time. They'll be able to find it.
Secretary, you said that, I read somewhere, or I watched it, that you said parang package deal sila, and there could be special arrangements on detention that can be discussed. Could you further clarify this, sir, if this is correct?
Well, there are some matters that you can accept would be risky on the part of DG Bantag because of his record with the Bucor. That is really part of the scenario, and he considers himself unsafe in Bucor itself. That's why, if that is his request, then we can consider other detention facilities. Of course, we will have to seek the permission of the court for this purpose.
And what are your options, possible options for detention?
Well, Camp Crame is one. Camp Crame detention is one. We can ask the PNP chief and the other people within the police force to help us out on this matter. so that we can keep the process of flow moving.
Okay. Quickly, sir, what happened here? Itong over 1,000 individuals rescued in this Clarkson Valley hub in Pampanga. Supposedly, they were forced into scamming others, into crypto. It's a cryptocurrency scam, sir. You know, when I found out about this, it was quite shocking. Over 1,000 of them, sir. What were the reasons? Ano ho yung storya dito behind this?
No, actually, I'm trying to get a report of the incident itself because, Pinky, what was brought to us for inquest was just 12 people who were arrested with 18 complainants against them. So the other 1,000 is a mystery to me as to why they are also under hold order, unless they are being held to account for other crimes. And that is one thing that I will make clear later on. I will ask the anti-trafficking force to account for these people who are now in custody, so that we can treat everybody properly. Because we cannot do that. Arrest 1,000 people who are not being held to account for crimes. We just have to be fair to everybody. For the people who have been charged on inquest, then that's another matter. But for the people who are not charged, we have to know their status, whether they want to be repatriated, whether they have other complaints on their own. We have to clarify the status of each and every one of them. What happened here was the Indonesian embassy sought the help of certain government offices because they had reports that people were being trafficked and that people were being held against their will. And of course, being the country that we are, when these things when people complain, we act on it immediately. And in fact, the DOJ is very active in the process. We have people from our IACAT, the Interagency Committee Against Trafficking, who are on the job. That's why I'm asking them to process the information, so we will know what these 1,000 people are being accused of, so that we will not be charged of violating the law in our own way, or at least the law enforcers will not be held to account for something that they don't really want to do.
But you mean these 1,000, they could be, aren't they classified or described as victims, sir?
Not necessarily, Pinky. Not necessarily, and not the whole. I still have to get a report from cybercrime about the actual activity being done by the place and the computers, the study of the computer system used, because we are not certain of many of it, but we know that there are scams being perpetrated within the Sun Valley complex. But we do not know if all these ones were involved in these scams.
You don't.
We have to know that. To ascertain that.
So basically, what you're saying, sir, is that my understanding kasi natatawag ko kasi silang victims pwede pong alam nila itong ginagawa nila willingly. I guess I'm assuming, sir, because you're waiting for the report, some of them could have been willingly be doing this and some were forced to do this.
Yes, it's very possible, Pinky, that they knew what they were doing. The information is still hazy. I want to get the information properly from them, so that we know how we will go about processing the people. Because immigration can start looking into them for deportation, but if they have not committed an offense, why should we deport? We have to their papers, and there's a lot of other information we need to ferret out. And 1,000 people is not easy to handle. That's a lot of people.
Kung sabihin po nilang biktima sila, they were scammed to scam. That's something that needs to be looked into further. Sir, just as a final question, isn't it puzzling, sir, that something as big as this was actually located in Clark? I mean, here we are, you have so many agencies trying to stop trafficking of Filipinos abroad, and then we have a story here that there are 1,000 supposed to be, sir, sabi mga hazy pang report na trafficked.
Actually, Pinky, yun nga yung hindi malinaw kasi many of them sought employment. I'm sure of that. They did not, and then second, the ones who complained of inhuman conditions were very few. That's why we have to know what their individual claims are, because the people who appeared for inquest to witness against the people against the 12 accused were 18 persons within the 1,000. But the rest of the 1,000 is not taken. And that's what we are trying to arrive at right now.
Opo.
How to assert the status of each and every person.
Got it. Okay, sir, so we'll get more information on this so we understand it also better. Justice Secretary Boying Remulla, sir, thank you so much for your time as always.
Thank you, Pinky, at maraming salamat sa lahat ng nanood sa atin.
And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.